In this video, I will discuss a woman who now identifies as a vampire. Yes, a vampire. She came out of the coffin. I will reveal her life, dress, day job, and family reactions. Clearly, we're living in the last days. Let's go.
No one can do it better.
A vampire with a day job? Inside the life of an Ohio woman who identifies as a vampire. I came out of the coffin, as it were, and never felt so free in my life. Halloween means something more to Helen SCHWEIZER than it does to others who merely carve pumpkins and go trick-or-treating or bob for apples. This Halloween marks the 2-year anniversary of an epiphany for SCHWEIZER. On that date in 2021, the Ohio woman was struck by her connection to vampirism. Really? I'm struck by your connection to vampirism. There has been no turning back for the 28-year-old woman who identifies as a vampire, who wears fangs and a makeup palette of dark red lipstick with a phoenix eye, punctuated by red, orange, and yellow, and a beak and a tail. She also wears a white shirt with flowy sleeves and a black cape. It's my go-to look. All about vampires. From the time she was young, I've always been all about vampires, SCHWEIZER said, citing her preoccupation with Anne Rice books and with Dracula. There are different kinds of vampires, she said. They can be lawyers or janitors, as well as psychics and witches. Vampires and witches get along famously, she said, and run in similar circles. Well, who would have thought that? It's all from the same pot of paganism. The drinking of the blood, the casting of the spells. It's all paganism. It's all against Christ. So you guys get away from that. That's why I'm bringing this out here so you guys can hear about this. Not every vampire is bad, attacking people or offering human sacrifices, she said. I follow a higher path. A 2015 survey by the Atlanta Vampire Alliance said 5,000 people in the United States identify as real vampires, and some of them do drink blood from willing donors. Who would have thought? See, they do drink blood. I've also heard that some of those royals, people in power, that they also drink blood. I've heard that. Okay, if you guys have heard that, put that in the comments. If you guys have heard that the royals also drink blood, and let me know, what do you guys think about that? As well as what do you think about this woman? As well as what you think about this woman jumping out of the coffin and announcing her vampirism. For the record, said SCHWEIZER, I'm not interested in sucking anyone's blood. Life is a vampire. Well, that's good. Life is a vampire. SCHWEIZER also doesn't subscribe to the notion that she will live forever. Another concept people associate with vampires. She does suck in energy, she said, which she feels all around her. As others do sometime during their life, she reached a point where she found a key that unlocks everything. Living as a vampire just felt right. As she traverses her hometown of Wooster, Ohio, about 50 miles from Cleveland, you guys watch out there, clad in vampire garb, people are not scared of her, although they may do a double take. They are more intrigued, she said, stressing one of my biggest fears when I started dressing like this was causing others to feel afraid. She had pledged to herself, if I scare people, I will stop. When she realized she was a vampire, she was actually co-playing or dressing up in costume, she said, a community of vampires. But after posting a TikTok video with herself as the character of a vampire, she found a community of vampires. I came out of the coffin, as it were, and never felt so free in my life. SCHWEIZER blends her life as a vampire with a regular day job as a social media manager, helping businesses to thrive. You'll think twice, won't you, about who that is in the cubicle next to you, what they're doing. In establishing a relationship with a company, she doesn't usually dress as a vampire on the first meeting. I want them to feel comfortable, she said. A big part of my career is TikTok because her fans love it. City has been very accepting. SCHWEIZER said she is surprised and proud of my city because it has been so open and accepting of her. For being a small town of primarily Christians, I thought I'd get burned at the stake. When I grew up here, I felt that acceptance wasn't the case, SCHWEIZER said, who was a victim of bullying as a child long before she knew she was a vampire. There were signs along the way, however. Vampire stereotypes. The sun makes me nauseous, in addition to dizzy and weak. I felt that way since I was a kid, she said. Her comfort zone is cloudy and snowy. She gains most of her energy in the night. Some of the stereotypes are rooted in reality, she said. However, I love garlic. That's just a legend. She described her faith as Norse paganism. What did I tell you? Paganism. Now you see why the Father told Abraham to get away from these people and I'll bless you. Represented by the god Odin, my man in Norse mythology, the top god. And they see these people in paganism, they have many gods. However, I believe in all things. Well, there's no surprise there. Using crystals and incense, I sometimes practice witchcraft, she said. Adding magic is everywhere. Yep, you guys stay away from those crystals and all that stuff, and definitely stay away from witchcraft. It's just a fast track to hell. And by the way, go watch my Kat Von D video, how she steps out of witchcraft and into the light of Christ. You know, I think you guys will be blessed by that, as well as watch my hell testimony video from a kid who went to hell, because the main thing is you got to avoid hell. You can't go to hell. Hell is not where you want to be. It's horrible, okay? You got to make it to heaven. That's why I'm putting this out here so you guys can hear this stuff. SCHWEIZER hasn't yet met any other vampires in Worcester, but she will know one if she sees one. When she went to Salem, Massachusetts, they were everywhere. Wow. My life is really cool, said SCHWEIZER, whose lifestyle is supported by her friends and family. My husband is super supportive. He helped me get ready today, she said. He thinks it's kind of cool. I made a character for him on TikTok. Her parents treat it as a thing I do. They're proud of my journey, being true to myself. See, that's the problem with things today. Today, it's all about your truth, being true to yourself. You know what? There's only one truth. All of that is just to shade reality and allow for the influx of a way to look at a fact in different ways that shapes to your personal narrative. It's all deception, by the way. It's all a way of deception. And remember, Christ is the God of truth, and Satan is the deceiver and a liar. That's why you get those complete opposites there. So move towards truth and stay away from deceit, especially in these end times, in these end days, because we're getting further away from the truth. And that's what they want to do, because they know that the truth will set you free, as the scriptures say. The future is a little less clear. SCHWEIZER acknowledged as she grows older, she may not be able to portray a vampire on TikTok, but my soul is a vampire, she said. It's all about soul stuff. I follow a lighter path. You see how happy and bubbly I am? Yeah, we'll see when you're burning in hell unless you repent. Nothing surprises me anymore. Nothing surprises me. We got people coming out as vampires. People are able to change whom God made them to be in terms of their sex now. You got people identifying as this and that. People coming up with their own truth aside from the facts. We are in a world here in these last days which is full of nothing but confusion and lies and paganism and sin. That's what it is. That's why in the Bible it says, be ye separate, because you got to separate from this madness that's out here. Anyway, I got a couple verses here I want to bring out. Matthew 24, 36 and 37. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. In terms of the days of Noah, it was just full of paganism, full of idolatry, full of sin, completely like devoid of Christ and of the Father. You see what I'm saying? And we're clearly living in those times. I mean, the earth has never been so just evil-filled and evil-stricken than it is right now. I mean, it's amazingly evil. That's why it's going to be destroyed. This is the time, you guys, to be getting your house in order. This is the time to be repenting and working on your relationship with Christ. There's no better time than to do it than right now. Last verse here, Matthew 10:28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Okay, you guys, I mean, this is pretty much self-explanatory. Don't fear man, don't fear people, don't follow people, don't be a follower, but you better fear Christ, you better fear God, because he's the one that can send your soul into eternal damnation in hell. He alone. So you better get right, get that house in order. Okay, so I wanted to leave you with this message. All praises to the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. This is Crown Prince Media. I am the Crown Prince. Let's go.
No one can do it better.